Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Make sure you smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get in the comment section whether you're live or on replay. It's a hot one, it's a scorching one. I'm sweating, but not for PSR reasons, because guess what? We've got 99 problems, but PSR and hopefully SCR ain't one. Big up to each and every single one of you. The 30th of June, it's been a deadline that has been looming, lingering, and it's finally hit us. It's finally hit us. And when it did hit us, we were ready. We were absolutely ready for it. And we have conquered it. You have, I'm sure, all seen the news today that Villa have found a way to make sure they've mastered themselves in not getting in PSL problems. And guess what? They've come through. But not only that, we've had players confirmed to leave the club as well. And furthermore, we've had some other updates on the likes of Marcus Rashford and Ollie Watkins, all things we're going to get into. But I'm not even joking. I'm absolutely sweating here right now. And it's a scorcher. So make sure you stay hydrated. And yeah, let's get into this. PSR, it ain't a problem. It all broke earlier today. First of all, it was a weird old day today. The King Kesler-Hayden news came in first. And I thought, okay, I did a video on it. I thought, okay, I see how we're going here. I see how we're going. What's going to happen is we're just going to have these bumble of sales come through from King Kesler-Hayden to your Louis Barrys to maybe a Dendonckers and maybe one other. I didn't ever feel like any of the big guns were going today. And I thought, I see where it's going. However, it then broke out. It then broke out into the following. It broke out into the big news. And I first saw it on this platform right here. I saw it right here from this guy before any of the journalists, before even Ornstein came through. I saw it here. And a big up to each and every single one of you in the chat as well. Make sure you're liking up the stream as our guy Meeks is saying. Run it up, people. Run it up. Don't be shy. But it says there is no realistic chance Villa will fail 24-25 PSR. In the post-Chelsea world. Either they're not in the 105 limit or they will sell a player today or transfer an asset such as a women's team. They do not need to let the outside world know today, discussed on TS this weekend. I thought, oh, okay, that seems quite promising. But I was like, it's not an official source and it's nothing major, but it's a little bit of calming issues. And I thought, brilliant. It means we're not going to have to talk about the nonsense that is PSR. And I even sat there and thought, do you know what, that last line, I thought that last line a little bit. I was a bit like, okay, we're Villa, if they really wanted to, could keep it on the down low. They could actually keep it on the down low and not inform or tell anyone. So I looked at that and thought, okay, yeah, let's see what happens. And then it came through in its numbers, all on the social media, all through. And that's why you've got to have the big guns on the notifications. That's why you've got to have the big guns locked in. And I think I was driving at the time when it came through. And there was other rumours that were happening before. But it broke first through Matt Law. I think Matt Law got in at the back post first. And it was here. It was here. Exclusive. Aston Villa to avoid PSR breach as a closing on 55 million women's team deal. Warehouse project also lined up for PSR boost and club to commit to UEFA player costs cut. And I thought, there it is then. Let's breathe. Let's relax. No need to panic. My stress levels went completely down. And I knew that when we hit that, I absolutely knew we were all okay. And then it just followed up, second of all, by Ornstein. And Ornstein came in and said, look, Aston Villa agreed deal to sell Williams' team to holding company V Sports and a stake to prominent US-based investors. Aston Villa say no issues regarding Premier League PSR rules and advanced talks with UEFA on resolution to FFP compliance. The same sort of spiel. In a nutshell, everyone who was rumouring and saying we'd be okay on the 30th of June, you were right. You were absolutely bang on. And I'm not going to lie, at times I have been a panic. At times I have been stressing and saying, geez, Luiz, we're in trouble. And I know Michael and Kevin, they've been waiting for this moment. They've been waiting to be able to say, look, Josh, we told you so. And fair play, there are some people who did tell me so. I think as we got closer to the PSR deadline, I'll be honest, if once we got closer to the PSR deadline, I did start to think about the fact that this women's situation was going to happen, that we were going to copy Chelsea, that we were going to sort of go through that same due diligence and sell off the stake. I think the big difference that probably struck out of me is that Chelsea managed to do their deal for, what was it, 105 mil? And we've done ours for 55 mil, around 50, 55 mil. I think the difference is, though, which we need to remember, is Chelsea's deal, Chelsea's deal hasn't been officially approved yet by the Premier League. Just remember that. Because people are saying that Chelsea have oversold their stake in the Chelsea side. So have Villa gone a little bit smarter? Have Villa looked at the Chelsea situation and gone, we're not going to go stupid and do 100 mil. We're going to half that. We're going to make it a realistic situation in which we can tick the box, be compliant, and happy days. But not only that, I think exactly that, Meeks, exactly that. And do you know what? I think the other thing is that I think we had plan B and plan C. I think plan B and plan C was basically the warehouse situation. The plan B and plan C situation was, what if we don't make Champions League? And that's where the warehouse project, I think, has come into it as well. Don't know if you guys think the same. I don't know if you guys think the same, but I think that we had a plan in place for this if we didn't make Champions League football. And the reason is, of course, was quite prominent for me. So big up to Villa. I guess with Chelsea, if you can't beat them, is join them in that sense. There will be a backlash to it. There will be a backlash to the thought of it being that the women's football team is just an entity, and it shows again, there'll be a lot of people saying out there, it shows how much more work the women's game's got to do, that it can just be passed on like that, etc., etc. But in terms of Aston Villa Men's Football Club to survive, that's what's happened. That's what's been done. And so we move forward now. And do you know what? For the first time in ages, I think I'm going to be able to sit, relax, and now concentrate purely on who are we going to sign. My stream tomorrow already, I can see it going. It's the 1st of July. Why aren't we signed anyone? You know the drill of me. I'll be like that. But yeah, all that good stuff to come. Make sure we are smashing the like button. Guys, as I said, I can't believe how hot I've got. It's like I'm having a workout just being live and talking. But it's bad. It's bad in here. I forgot to bring the fan down as well, so that's my own fault. But yeah, let's run the likes up. Let's get 20 likes on here right now. And let's start talking about then the future, what it means. We spent probably all month talking about PSR. I don't think we need to say any more or anything else on PSR, apart from the bombs were dropped and it's all done. It's all clear. V Sports, take a bow. And basically, Ripton Masters ain't going to be an happy bunny. They're going to try and stop this. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure the Premier League are going to try and stop this. Because if you are another football club right now, and Everton, and Nottingham Forest, even anyone else, you're going to start looking at this, and Newcastle, you're going to start looking at this, and you're going to start going, well, that's 2 clubs who have done it now. It's quite clever. Let's do it. That's how I see it unfolding. That's how I see it. I see this as a bit of a domino effect. And I wonder, have Aston Villa got in at the right time? Have we found a trend? Have we started a trend with Chelsea at the right time? So, yeah, we are going to be discussing the following players as well today. Marcus Rashford, Ollie Watkins, Douglas Luiz, Louis Barry, Kane Kessler-Hayden. So make sure you stay locked in for this one. And, of course, lots to talk about. But, as I said, I'm sort of glad now. I'm glad that we're away from this whole... I'm glad we're away from talking about PSR and speculation and who or may not go in terms of PSR compliance. Because what it basically means now is whoever we want to sell this side of July, we can put whatever price we want this summer now. We are not having to do bodge job deals. If we want to sell Emi Martinez for 40 or 50 million, we can sell Emi Martinez for 40 or 50 million. If we want to sell players that we believe they're half price on that one. And yeah, not only is it hot, the internet is a little shoddy today as well. So hopefully we will all be okay. I think we're still uh, live and direct. If it did cut out there, we've had a bit of internet problems. So yeah, hopefully it's all fine your end. But yeah, it is, the internet does seem to be melting, PC. It is that. Not only am I melting, the internet is definitely playing up. So yeah, if it happens, it happens. So yeah, we're good. But yeah, bloody hell. I can't believe this. I think I'm sweating more than I am sat here than I ever have on a football pitch. Like it's crazy. This is crazy energy right now. But yeah, lock in. Hope we're good. Hope we're well. Stick with me. It's always one of them. And yeah, whew. I actually can't deal with this right now. Chat, I'm not even joking. Like we've got issues here, not with the internet, but I'm having a meltdown. Yeah, sorry. West Country Broadband. Is anyone else sat? Can I just get a check in the chat? Is anyone else sat here like I am right now? Or have you got a fan in your face? I might have to go get shreds in a minute to get a fan. Remember to get the salt too. I actually know that. Yeah. Yeah, you are right, Brainy Brian. You are right. So yeah, PC is right. But yeah, we need to get salt in the diet. That's absolutely true. I think that's my issue. I don't have enough salt, hence why I am sweating right now. Do I go get if one of the kids walks in, I will try and get them to get me a fan. But we'll continue. Sweating out here. Yeah, it is awful. It is awful. But uh what we're gonna do is probably not is it it's probably not a great viewing experience for you either, is it? Maybe I should go camera off at this rate. Um I'm chill, got my fan pointing out the window because I'm smart. That is very smart as well. But yeah, I've got a final half now drinking ice cold lemonade. We could have our first ever like half time on a show like this if it continues. Right, let's get into some player business. Enough of the sweat. Enough of that. I can't even speak now. Enough of the sweat. Enough of the chat. So let's go to. If you missed my video earlier, shame on you. No, I'm joking. But first and foremost, the first transfer that happened today was, of course, Mr. Kane Kesler Hayden. I agree, Meeks. It is one of them. Maybe it's the shirt. Actually, was these? Remember these shirts when Villa wore them on pre-season? They used to be like really sticky to the players, and there was a big problem with that. I get the players' feelings and vibes now. Kane Hayden is set to sign for Coventry for a fee of around 3.5 million. What are we thinking of that? Bargain? Good? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Honest thoughts on that. Honest thoughts on that. What do you think on that? Because I personally think 3.5 million for Kesler Hayden, not bad. Considering he's never really going to break into our starting 11, uh, considering that he's just someone we consistently loan out, it's about time. Wages aren't the issue on this one, but it's a player that just ticks over another 3.5 in the bag. That's someone's wages potentially. You know what I'm saying, guys? You know what I'm saying? Um, I see it as that. I think Coventry and Frank Lampard have got a fantastic little buy. I think they've got a fantastic situation with that one, and a really good buy. And do you know what? I'll be keeping an eye on him in the Championship. I don't know about you guys, but when we do these sort of deals, I do like to keep an eye on them. I do wish them the best, and I do hope they go on and be really successful. So, yeah, Kane Kesler Hayden, if we've got a buyback, then brilliant. And I think this is what Captain has probably said. Um, I'm not losing any sleep and wish him all the best. Exactly that. Not Spinner said, good, get him off the books. It's decent. Keep Wolves out at the door. Exactly that. So yeah, you're spot on with that one. A big out to everyone in the chat. Keep running up the likes, people. We should be on 30 likes by now. Hit the like button, otherwise the mods will be on your case as well. With that one. A big up to Callum as well, and of course Mustafa. He's coming in, having a good chat in the chat as well with some of you guys, and I love to see it. But yeah, Meeks is right. We have so much deadwood, and we're starting to see the dominoes. I'm going to give you a bit more story. Coutinho, for example, more deadwood. I'm going to see that. I also spotted Dendonka today. I've got a transfer rumor for you all tomorrow, but I think I've seen Dendonka live in the flesh. I think I know where he's going next. But yeah, that was it. The last season shirt, wasn't it, Michael? Absolutely sweating buckets they did, the players in that. But yeah, right. In all seriousness as well, I think we're going to get more ball rolling situations in the next sort of week. I think we're going to see a lot of ins and outs in the next week. I really do. I really think we are. Why do you think Unai is going to interest Jackson? Because he used to work with him at Villarreal. Simple as that. And exactly that, Michael. Exactly that. But yeah, Meeks might be on to me. Meeks might be on to me. It's Gerrard trash. It is Gerrard trash, to be fair. Deadwood, Gerrard trash, however you want to word it up. So that's how the day started. Kane Kessler-Hayden, go on, son, go and do well. And then all of a sudden, just as the PSR news broke, this rumour came in. And I thought, this is how it's happening. Contracts galore. And here we are. It says, progress is being made with Hull City over permanent transfer for Louis Barry. And this one could be done by the end of today. And I'm going to show you where that's got to. But Louis Barry, another one, get a couple of mil for that. And see what happens with that one. But it's good to see it. But yeah, big up to you guys. Big up to you guys. And a big up to Goals Laguna as well. Very good friend of mine. Said contracts end today. Lots of movement coming. Exactly that. Thomas Partey leaving Arsenal was a big one. I wonder where he will end up. But yeah, it is free agent central now. Villa, of course, I'm going to bring that up. We've said goodbye to a few players. The emotional farewell of Courtney Hawes and Batman sidekick Robin Olsen. We had to say goodbye to some of those. But yeah, it's a really interesting time. The free agent market is always one that I look at. Do you know who I think got a good little buy? Axel Tuanzebe went to Burnley on a free. Deals like that, you think, right, I know you've just got relegated with Ipswich, but Axel Tuanzebe, with his Premier League experience, Burnley picking him up like that, I think brilliant little business, those sort of things. And if anything, they've also picked up someone for brilliant transfer, a brilliant song for the Terrace, haven't they? So there we go. But yeah, the Brian and Buemo situation at Man United is crazy. Absolutely crazy situation there. Once you get onto it. And Man United are moving mad this window. They're absolutely moving mad. They're all over the place still. It's a club that is not run properly. I'm telling you that. Man United is a club that is not run properly. And look at Liverpool wanting Mark Gay as well. That one worries me. Right, this one came out of nowhere. Not too much substance to this one yet. But this is I think this one also has some legs to it, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Aston Villa are considering Douglas Luiz's return. Interesting when you see that. Because when you go to the source of all source, it's this guy here, right? And he's Nick Samara, and you want to know more about him. Miami, Florida, and all he's got is transfers, 20,000 followers, and you're thinking, what does this guy know? What does this guy know? Where is he? But he has kept an exclusive pinned comment about how he feels like he broke the Matthias de Ligt news. I think this guy feels like he's got some in-the-know scoops. Jonathan David to Juve, he actually thinks as well. So let's see. If Jonathan David goes to Juve, then I'm going to take this guy a little bit more seriously. If Jonathan David goes to Juve, I'm going to take this guy's link seriously. But it's another midfielder. Another one. I just got Luca Dean in my ear. Another one. Look, Douglas Luiz. Do you know what? One thing I like about Douglas Luiz is that he's actually openly said how much he loves the Villa. He loves the club. He regrets leaving. I don't know if you've seen his interaction on his Twitch stream or whatever he does. He actually said how much he misses Villa and how much he loved his time there. I think what people are forgetting is Dougie didn't necessarily want to leave Villa. Douglas Luiz didn't necessarily want to leave Villa. He was used as a PSR mechanism and tool. So if you want to really step back and look at Douglas Luiz, he was forced out of Villa, in my opinion. You may disagree in the chat, and let me know if you agree with me or not. But you may disagree here. I think Douglas Luiz was forced out of Aston Villa. He loves the Villa, and I'd rather see Dougie come back than see him have to wear the god-awful Leeds United shirt, where he's been linked to. I'd hate to see him represent Manchester United. Douglas Luiz, get him back in the Claret Blue, get him back in the squad, and do you know what? If we lose a Kamara or a Yuri Tielemans or someone like that, then at least Dougie knows. Do you know what the other thing is on the other side of that? Look at Ilkay Gundogan's return to Man City. Ilkay Gundogan left Manchester City, went to Barcelona, came back to Manchester City, and I think City fans were looking, going, "Is that the same guy?" Because he came back absolutely crap. Ilkay Gundogan left Manchester City on a high, scoring late goals, helping them in big moments at the back end of the season. And then he goes and does his thing at Barcelona, came back and he was half the player. And guess what now? Ilkay Gundogan is back linked to leave Man City again. So I do look at it. Sometimes a player, when they leave, should leave on a high. And sometimes players have this redemption arc. Ashley Young, again, he came back. It was great for him. Douglas Luiz, for me, was forced out of Aston Villa. Second of all, Douglas Luiz, for me, plays for this. And thirdly, if we lose someone, get Dougie back in the system. So people have got, it's really mixed opinion. Really mixed opinion on Douglas Luiz in the chat. Callum saying exactly what I think. Meeks is saying when he was suspended against Arsenal, Tillemans took his place. Gary saying we don't need him. Aston Villa agrees with me. Luiz is better than Kamara, says General Russ. Wow, big statement there. And I like this. It's really split in the chat here. Goals is saying surprised he isn't linked with more clubs if he's an option. Exactly that. And I wonder why. As I said, the clubs that I've seen linked with him are Leeds United and Manchester United. Those are the only two solid clubs I've seen linked to the guy. Still looks like I've had a shower, doesn't it? I wish I had a cold one. But there we go. But yeah, I think Luiz, what we do miss from him, I think Games is right. I think we miss his quality in dead ball situations. I like Luiz further forward. I'll be honest, I like Dougie further forward. I don't like Dougie so much in the double pivot, having to play out from the back. But I like Dougie, and I'll go back to it again. I'm a bit of a badge merchant. If a player plays for this, I'm a badge merchant. and it's as simple as that. So Dougie, for me, I actually am very open to this return. I don't think it's a backward step. I don't think it's moving backwards at all. I think it's there. So there we go. Big up to Justin Talks Football. Justin, if you want to jump on at any time tonight, I'm happy to send you the link if you want to join and have your say on anything live to the viewers. Do let me know. Or if you're just here to watch, then that's fine. But yeah, if you want to jump on, have your say on anything or have a chat, then do let me know. I'm open to that as well. But big up to everyone in the chat. And of course, do check out Justin Talks Football YouTube channel. But yeah, it's another. But yeah, I'm not dropping Tillemans for him. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm absolutely saying, "Come here, Dougie. Come back. Come back." So to conclude about Douglas Luiz, put in yes or no if you would take Dougie back in the chat. I want to see the overall consensus. Yes or no in the chat right now. Would you take Dougie back? Let me know. Would you take Dougie back? Justin says, I'm in my PJs. Well, if they were Claret Blue ones, then do you know what I mean? It's a different story there. But yeah, big up to you, Justin. No worries. But we will have to get you on another time. 100%. I think it's really split on this one. Now, the only other thing I'd probably say on Dougie is this: wages. We have to talk about wages now a lot because we've made this commitment to get our wage bill down. 70% is the threshold. But what sort of salary would he be looking on in that? So let's have a look. Yes, but not in place of Yuri. Just don't bring those home, said PC. Yeah, I reckon if I was to scan the chat, there's a lot more no's I thought as well. Do you know what? It looks 50-50 in the chat. Very surprised on that. Meeks just said, I take Jack back over Luiz. It's a position we need. Okay, so I think a lot of you then, from where I'm saying, those of you saying no, are probably saying you'd rather see us go elsewhere and fish elsewhere, which I get. Um, so yeah, that was an interesting one I saw about Dougie. As I said, if this Nick Samaro guy from America nails this transfer, then he's had a good shout on a few of them. He's also got Jonathan David to Juve. By the way, isn't it scary that Arsenal are looking at Eberechi Eze? That one is a little bit scary for me. I don't like it. I don't like Eze to Arsenal at all. I think Eze actually does take Arsenal to the next level. I don't. Again, I just think he's a fantastic talent. Martinelli for me is dead. Imagine having Eze and Saka on both your flanks. Not gonna lie. So there we go. Right, official news from Villa came. This is like an official one instead of some of our rumours that we had. But there we go. This one. Oh, I just got to come to this. It's true. You were big enough as a years ago. It's true. It's true. I've been watching this guy's career, and I've been jealous that he's not been wearing claret and blue. He's also been playing against the word that anyone on the channel, by the way, there is a word that we are not mentioning all season. You know, like in Harry Potter, Voldemort, he who shall not be named. You know, we're not saying the word Voldemort, right? Well, this year we're not saying the C word. If you want to talk about a certain team who play in London, who won the FA Cup, you can call them the C word. And we're not saying CUNT, but I don't want to see the full name until we beat them. Okay, it's the C word. We don't say their full name ever on this channel. You probably get a lifetime ban. It's just the C word. All right. Whenever we talk about Eze and the team, it's called the C word until we beat them. Then we can own them, because at the moment that name makes me ill, very ill. But yeah, listen, I don't say many compliments about Arsenal. I'll be honest, I'm sort of sat there, I'm still sort of half laughing at still some of their business, looking at Mosquera and Norgard covering the cracks. Still can't get the deals done for Sesko. I'm having a little I'm having a little, giggle about that. But if they sign Eze, they're getting my flowers. So there it is. But here we go. Official news from Villa. None of these rumours. None of these rumours at all. It's official. Official accounts. We all like official accounts. Aston Villa would like to thank Robin Olsen and Courtney Hawes following the expiration of contracts. Now, this part here, am I looking into this too deep? As well as our loan players as they return to their respective parent clubs. Chat, I want to know, am I looking into this too much? Not about Robin Olsen and Courtney. I don't need to look into that too much. But the other way. The last bit, as well as our loan players as they return to their respective parent clubs. Now, I know there's formalities and I know there's this sort of idea of thank you, you've done your service. But what I'm sort of saying is, does that mean we're never seeing Asensio and Disasi again? I know that basically, I know that basically we're not getting Rashford. We're going to cover that one in a minute. But does that mean the same for Asensio and Disasi? I'm so gutted we're not signing Axel Disasi, guys. I'm really gutted. I thought he was our right back solution. I think that he was brilliant in games like Man City away, PSG away. I just thought we're making a big mistake there. Said no one ever. Said no one ever. Thank goodness we don't have to see him again. Thank goodness we don't have to see him again. Asensio, look, I'm gonna be real here. I'm not that bothered about Asensio. I'm not that bothered about Asensio. I'm not that bothered about Asensio. In fact, I feel quite relieved we're not signing Asensio because I feel like it was going to hinder Morgan Rogers. Just and do you know what? With Asensio, screw your wages. Greedy wages. Meek said Josh nearly unsub. Exactly. And Captain said he was getting to me. Don't worry, I'm not that far gone yet. You know, the head is still there. I'm still sweating a little bit, but yeah. So I looked at that and I thought, okay, I think Aston Villa, the official account, you're basically telling me that we're not going for the loanees. So there we go. We don't need Asensio. That's how I feel, Philly. That's how I feel. I don't think we need him. I don't think we need Asensio. And exactly what some of you say in the chat, and again, goals being an Arsenal fan, it's good to get other fans on this, is that Asensio banged them in, did not offer much else. I saw the so this is, if you ask any match-going fan, and anyone who is in the chat, by the way, if you're someone who goes to the games, home, away, both, whatever, let me know if I'm right on this. A lot of people will tell you when you watch Asensio live, you see his flaws out of possession. You see the problems he creates. For me, Asensio started like you couldn't believe it. Brace after brace. It was like a Bracio. I think I was calling Marco Bracio. It was that good. And then you looked at sort of the teams he was playing against. Cardiff City at home in the FA Cup. You know, brace, coming off bench and doing bits at times, okay, good. But the big thing was Southampton away, where he missed the penalties. He then had this really poor, below average performance, even before the penalties. Do you know what? It was absolutely scripted that he was going to miss those penalties because he was out an absolute stinker. And I remember doing a watch along for that game. Those of you on my watch alongs, which we'll be doing again all season long, those of you in the watch alongs know I think I can vouch for this. I was calling for him to be sub for ages, and then it was just written in the stars that he was going to miss his penalty. And since that game, he never recovered from it. He had one of the most horrific FA Cup semi-finals, like a lot of the Villa players, but he was trying to come too deep and get on the ball against the C word. And then all of a sudden, just became very apparent that we were carrying him. And I think it came near the end when he was the player that Unai Emery would sub off first. Manchester United, when Emi Martinez got the red card last game of the season, you know, we need a big result performance. Who's the man they take off? Asensio. So I think he started like an absolute rocket, and then he just dwindled off. I think the pace of the game, I think his out of possession was a problem. So there we go. Asensio Gola, exactly that. It was all that. There, Amari Hutchinson had a really good tournament for the under-21s, by the way. And yeah, maybe that was it as well, Kevin, that it only seemed to work when Rashford was on the pitch. So yeah, Morgan back in the 10, 100%. So that was the official news, and I think again we've got to really comment on that I believe that Asensio, probably for me, is not coming back, and I can live with that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions around that. Would you take Asensio? Would you not? And yeah, thank you to everyone who's in here. By the way, I'm just checking. These likes better not be accurate. The likes that I'm seeing on my screen, better not be accurate. That's all I'm going to say, chat. They better not be accurate. I'm just refreshing right now, because if that is true, on my phone, sorry, if that is true, are we only on 29 likes? Crazy. We should be on 40 likes by now, chat. Run up those likes. But yeah, I saw someone put the CPR instead of PSR. We're going to have acronym central going on. I can see that this season. Acronym central. At least we haven't had to talk about the VAR. Do you know what I mean? But consistency is key. On to the next one. And big up to you. Do you know what the biggest problem I'm having for Fabrizio Romano on as notifications? He takes up your whole news feed. You've got to filter through the Fabrizio stuff. By the way, another free agent, Kenny Tete from Fulham. Oh no, he's actually staying at Fulham now, is he? Over a new contract because Everton nearly signed him. That's quite interesting, isn't it? That Everton wanted to get Kenny Tete on a free, and actually they changed their mind and saw it. Right, the big one. This story emerged and it's got interesting. Now here's the real deal stuff. The Ollie Watkins, Marcus Rashford story. So there we go. Hit that like button, or Robin Olsen would jump out the screen and punch you. The problem is, General Russ, I've got a really bad joke here. He'd probably miss us if he went to punch us and punch the air. So I think we're all safe. Sorry, I can make fun of Robin even more now. Because he's gone. Right, so let's go back to this story. Right, read this, people, and let me know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions on this one. Ollie Watkins is on Manchester United list of potential centre-forward recruits in the event that Rasmus Hojlund leaves the club. There has been contact between Old Trafford executives and their Aston Villa counterparts to explore the prospect of a deal. Okay, let's go to the source first. Is it a HP source? Is it Worcestershire sauce? Is it a Aldi sauce? Is it home brand sauce? Who is the source? What type of sauce are we having here? Because I want to know what sauce we're eating. Oh, Puff's just come out of my the feet. She's so cute. Okay, the Athletic. The Athletic. So here we go. Laurie Whitehall, journalist for the Athletic, covering Manchester United. Now, whether you trust the Athletic or not is up to you. 429k followers. I'm going to have to ask some people about this guy, how accurate Laurie Whitehall is. But there we go. That's the source. Is that Poundland sauce? What sauce are you giving this? Maybe that's a new thing we should play on the game. That's a new thing we should play on the game. Rate this sauce. Is it HP sauce? I think HP Heinz is the best, isn't it? That's like your Fabrizio and David Ornstein. What type of sauce is this? Is it some kebab sauce from the kebab van down the road? Or are we talking like a do you know, like one of those road sauces, like a chili ketchup, you know, it's a dusty sauce. We're not having it. Yeah, so some of you aren't having this as a sauce. You ain't basically what you're telling me is you ain't putting it on your food, are you? You ain't putting it on your food. But you have to go to I take Hojlund on loan. No, Gary. No. I'd go as far to say this. I'd rather Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'd rather DCL. God, what is it with acronyms? What is it with acronyms? I ain't taking Rasmus Hojlund. Do you know what I'd put that equivalent to? If you had to ask me who would I rather, if I had to take one of these players, Andre Onana, the goalkeeper, or Rasmus Hojlund, I think I'm taking Andre Onana. And that hurts me to say because I think he's one of the worst keepers in the league. So where do I even put Rasmus Hojlund? Watch him go and score prolific in Europe now. Like if you actually had to take, that's how bad it is. I wish I could say no to both. But if I had to take one of them, that's how bad it was. Rasmus Hojlund. I think the last I saw, Inter Milan meets out a dodgy Chinese out there. I thought Inter Milan was the last time I saw that. But no to Rasmus. I can see Ollie leave him this summer. I'm going to put it out there. I'm a big Ollie Watkins fan. I don't want Ollie to leave. I want Ollie to stay. I think it's very hard to replace a 9. But these Arsenal rumours, these now Manchester United rumours, there's something there, isn't there? Okay, but the story evolves. The story evolves. Who would be happy to see Ollie go, by the way, this summer? Let me know. And then this came up to add to the story. Boy, a bastard. Conversations between United and Aston Villa concerning Marcus Rashford at the end of last season included the prospect of Watkins being involved in any possible summer transfer. So what we basically said is that we actually started this last summer when we wanted Rashford, and we've used Ollie as part of it. The club's held discussions, despite there being a 40 million option for Villa to buy Rashford. Ultimately, Rashford's desire to join Barcelona put an end to that possibility. So how about this? This is where it gets interesting. If we were to sign, or we're going to sign Marcus Rashford, we were going to lose Ollie Watkins. That's how I'm reading that. Have I read that right, chap? Basically, if we were going to sign Marcus Rashford, if Rashford had a desire to join us and we were going to sign Marcus Rashford, we were actually going to lose Ollie Watkins as part of the deal. And I think Meeks is right. I think this could be a late deal because I'm going to stay consistent with my story here on Rashford. My story of Rashford is the following. I think Rashford basically is going to wait it out all summer to hope there's another option that plays Champions League football. What he's going to find is he's going to have the big no, the big cross, the big rejection, and then he comes crawling back to the Villa and says, please, Villa. And we're going to have to do that. Now, my issue with that is I wouldn't be willing to let Ollie Watkins go that late on in a window when we haven't got a replacement. What we are probably saying is that Villa have been linked to a few strikers. This young Redmond lad is not the answer, by the way. He's going straight into the under-21s. He's only 18, 19. He's just playing the under-19s. He's not coming to the first team. But what we are looking at is a bigger prospect. We're looking at someone who is going to come in. And big up to Jono who's joined us late in. Jonathan David apparently has been linked to Juve, so I want to see where he goes in. But exactly that as well, Pete, that if Rashford wants to play for England, he's got to play at regular football. Garnacho chat in the chat as well. And look, personally, I'm gonna give my thoughts on Ollie, because again, it is some of this madness in the chat and people's opinions. You don't find the consistency of Ollie Watkins in the Premier League that easy. If you look across number 9s in the Premier League, Ollie's numbers are still good. Even Ollie, in a lot of fans' eyes, had a crap season or not as good season or wasn't Unai's boy or whatever you want to say, his numbers still spoke. His numbers still did some talking. I honestly say this, chat, and this is not me being biased as an Ollie Watkins big fan. But where do you find numbers like this in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons under Unai Emery? Where do you find such numbers? I've got to share the new screen. How do you replace that? How do you replace those 2 seasons under Unai? How? How do you replace the 23-24 and 24-25? How do you replace those numbers? So we're not just talking goals, chat. We're talking assists. For the last 3 seasons in a row, Ollie has scored 15 goals. Ollie has scored 15 goals in the last 3 seasons consistently. In the last 2 seasons, he's had above 20 GA. What are we doing out here? Because I'm gonna put it out there, like some of you in the chat. Rashford ain't getting those numbers. Marcus Rashford is not getting 16 goals and 8 assists. Again, I'm going to put this out there. People are telling me this is a poor season for Ollie. And I'll be honest, in my standards of Ollie Watkins, it's not a great season. But the bloke's going to add 24 GA. So what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? Criticising Ollie Watkins in a poor season has had 24 GA. Like, have we lost the plot? I know I lose the plot sometimes. But where are we getting? In a crap season, Ollie Watkins has had 24 GA in 38 matches. He ain't the issue or problem. Yeah, he misses chances. What are we doing? Where? Someone tell me where. Someone give me a name in the chat right now that scores for the next 2 seasons 15 goals consistently. Because Nicholas Jackson ain't. Dusan Vlahovic ain't. Who does that? Haaland. Who realistically we can sign, sorry. Who realistically we can sign. Why Emery rates Rashford higher? Because Emery's... Listen, why does Emery play Matty Cash all the time? Why does Emery play Morgan Rogers right? This is where I'm happy to call out Unai Emery and say he doesn't always get it right. Unai Emery makes mistakes and has made mistakes. In fact, there's been times where he correctly has dropped Ollie Watkins. There we go. I've said it. He's correctly dropped Ollie Watkins at times this season and played Rashford as 9. It's been the right outcome. Man City away, a big one for me. Rashford as 9 was brilliant. It actually ain't the 9, the long-term solution of the 9. The 9. A position, by the way, he doesn't want to play. Marcus Rashford will tell you now he doesn't want to play as a 9. Wait, 1 second. Let me open the door. The dog, 1 sec. There you go, love. Sorry, an interjection from the dog there. Donny Mallon does not get 24 GA. And this is where I will keep banging that drum. I'm going to put a little bit of another thing to you guys, because a lot of you are saying, oh, the main striker. Have a look at this. This might shock you a little bit. It's the wrong profile thing. Where is it? Let me just get this up. I don't want the stats one. Let me get rid of Ollie Watkins stats and let me just get Ollie Watkins. I want you to see his percentage of minute to games. Okay? Have a look at this. Have a look at this. It's just loading. This one. %82% in the starting 11. So again, where I'm going with this, we're talking about a guy who had 24 GA in 38 appearances in a crap season, apparently. And he played 76% of the minutes. But here's the big one. I don't know if you can see it as clear because this bloody thing's in the way. 41% involved in goal participation. It's massive. It's nearly 50% of our goals have come from Ollie Watkins. So some of you are taking a risk. Some of you are taking a risk by naming foreign strikers. Okay? I'm going to ask you this. Okay? I'm going to ask you this. Why would you... Okay, no, let me even reword it more. Ollie Watkins is 29. He has no resale value. He has no resale value. Once you sign Ollie Watkins, you never get... the next team that signs Ollie Watkins, you ain't getting any money from him. You're not getting the value anywhere near. So let me ask you this. Why are teams like Arsenal and Manchester United willing to make him their number 9? Something they lack badly. Now I could be really critical and say, well, if Arsenal think he's good enough for them, then we should be saying the same. I'm also on the other breath an Arsenal mocker at times with Chelsea. But you get my point. 24 GA in a crap season. We're not even talking about his 19 goals and 13 assists in his good season. They want him because of his numbers. And I think Villa fans, we've got to look at his numbers. Let's not get bogged down in when Ollie Watkins misses big chances. Very easy to do that. Very easy to get bogged down in. This is why Ollie's not good enough because he misses the big chances and opportunities. His numbers do the talking. 3 seasons in a row, he scored 15. Okay, let's go even further. Let's have a look at this. Let's prove the point. In the chat right now, apart from Erling Haaland, give me another number 9 and I'll get their stats up. In the Premier League right now. Give me another top 9 in the Premier League right now. I'm going to go straight to one. I'm going to go straight to one who's had a brilliant season. Liverpool won him, Alexander Isak. Okay, here we go. Alexander Isak. Everyone would say he's miles better than Ollie Watkins. Are you ready? You ready? Here we go. This is Alexander Isak. This is Alexander Isak. 3 seasons in the Premier League. So we're going off Ollie. Okay, so Ollie has had, and let me get Ollie up on the other screen so I can just make sure I do a comparison. Newcastle, similar team to us, similar profile, similar service, similar X, Y, and Z. So Ollie has gone 15, 19, 16. 15, 19, 16. So Isak has outscored him in that area. But let's go to the GA. Ollie, in the 23-24 season, had 32 GA. Isak, 23. So Ollie beats him in the GA there. Okay, Isak, another incredible season. It's 24 GA. Isak, 29 GA, not far off. Isak does smoke him there. But we're talking about Alexander Isak being linked to Liverpool now because his numbers have done the talking in terms of his goals. Right? Give me another striker. Let's have a look. Who else we got? Raul Jimenez would be embarrassing. He's not even a top striker. I can show you Raul Jimenez. It'll be embarrassing for him. Raul Jimenez stats. I don't even want to show you this because it'll be embarrassing for the lad. Raul Jimenez, top striker. Okay. And then Raul Jimenez. What are we doing out here? 12 goals, 3 assists. Isak also takes pens. There we go. 12 goals, 3 assists. Raul Jimenez. João Pedro. Chelsea have just signed him. João Pedro. Chelsea have just signed him. 10 goals, 6 assists. What are we doing out here? He shits on everyone. Because it's not just about the goals, it's his contribution overall. Morgan Rogers will absolute Kai Havertz. Let's go to number 29. 65 mil player. It's just crazy, isn't it? It's just crazy. Arsenal again, arguably a better team, better service. So yeah, it's just silly. And Arsenal, no wonder Arsenal. Right, this is Arsenal's number 9, Kai Havertz. It's there. Julian Alvarez, good shout. Let's have a look at Julian Alvarez. Do you know what I mean? That's another one who's built up right. I just think chat, that those of you who are so willing to get rid of Ollie, you need to think, where are we getting some of his contributions from? Julian Alvarez in La Liga Atletico, 17 goals, 4 assists, still not Ollie Watkins' levels. Julian Alvarez at Man City, still not Ollie Watkins' levels. Yes, he's had to play second fiddle to Haaland. I get that one. Just trying to think. I mean, let's go. Here we go. Diogo Jota. He's about as good as a 9 as Liverpool have got. Fuck me. I know Jota's had a few injuries. Jota's best full season, 35 games. Diogo Jota, 15 goals, 4 assists. Diogo Jota. It's crazy. So I'll do one more. Samu. Everyone keeps saying Samu. Everyone keeps saying, who is Samu? Is this guy, is it? The Porto guy. 19 goals, 3 assists. Not on Ollie's levels. Yeah, it's just it's my point's proven really in that sense. We could go on all day. You don't get Ollie's numbers consistently. 2 seasons in a row, he's had 20 plus GA. So what are we doing out here? That's my honest take. I'm quite passionate about Ollie Watkins. I'm willing to fight to the death of him. And Meek's asking a fairly good question here. Does Watkins still suit our style of play, Josh? So I think Ollie will definitely need to learn and adapt a bit more this pre-season, and we've fine-tuned it, because what Villa haven't become, and let's not go wrong, Ollie isn't exactly like your counter-attacking, incredible pace merchant in behind, is he? Watkins is far more intelligent and better than that. Watkins is someone who runs the channels, someone who can hold the ball up, play back to goal, build us up, bring people into the game. Selfless, but scores big goals. And Ollie, for me, scores those goals when it's a 0-0 and he goes and scores the first goal to start and kick you off. Issues we've got, Ollie doesn't seem to do well when there seems to be a number 2, whether that's just a coincidence, but never did well when Danny Ings was there, never did well when John Duran's there. And then Marcus Rashford comes along, puts a little bit of pressure on him. Can't seem to relax when there's someone breathing down his neck. But people will tell you everywhere else in his career, as a footballer, he's always had to deal with competition, which is true. But I think he's geared up to find a way. And I think Villa have to play to his strengths a bit more. I think we need to find a way to get him and Morgan Rogers connected. You see any Morgan Rogers interviews? Morgan Rogers has said numerous times this season, I love playing with Ollie Watkins. Me and Ollie seem to have a good understanding. Me and Ollie seem to have a good connection. I think there was a stat as well about Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers had the second most combinations as a duo this season for goals and assists, behind something like I think it was Jacob Murphy and Isak or something like that, a combo at Newcastle. Basically, Rogers and Watkins cook together. They cook together. And if my guy Morgan Rogers is my main baller and he wants his main man in front of him, then you play them and you play to those two strengths. I think Asensio, and this is why I will say it, the more I think about it, I'm so anti-Asensio, it's unbelievable now. I want Morgan. I want those players. I want to see it. I want to enjoy it. I think that's the way forward. So build a better team for them. Build the stability behind Morgan Rogers Ollie and play into Ollie more. Just that's where I'm at with it. So yeah, passion on Ollie. I think it's going to be a really good debate about Ollie. And until someone can come to me with a proven striker that has done it 3 seasons in a row of 15 goals, and then backed it up as well with the GA of 20 plus GA two seasons in a row, then I'll start maybe looking at an Ollie replacement. But right now, there's no man better. And that's why it's great, because we're all going to differ on this channel. We're all going to have different opinions on the Ollie Watkins situation scenario. So yeah, right back to Joe. I just don't even know where we're going right back right now. Right, few more stories. Big up to you guys. Thanks for being in here. I really appreciate all the interaction tonight. And then obviously, Fab himself confirmed. Fabrizio Romano confirmed this. Aston Villa confirmed they're not activating the 40 million buy option clause for Marcus Rashford. Rashford returns to Manchester United and 40 million price remains available for any club interested in Marcus this summer. Things we already knew. Yeah. Do you know what? Just seen this. He does. Igor Paxio genuinely does. In terms of a left winger as well. He's not even a 9. So that's exciting, isn't it? That is exciting. Okay. Tammy Abraham gone to Besiktas. Don't need to touch on that too much. I think that we sort of already knew. Sorry, I've just seen this come out. I missed this one today. A bit more on the PSR situation. Martin Ziegler said, Aston Villa sell to women's team to parent company to help comply with PSR. The Premier League is understood to reject the notion that this is a loophole, as the sale has to pass its fair market value test. They're so clever the way they say that. Yeah, it's funny how they're saying that. Because Chelsea hasn't passed the fair. So there we go. Sorry, I missed that one. Right, let's get on the Coutinho situation. Where's the Coutinho news? Here he goes. Here we go. Philippe Coutinho. It should be sorted very soon, but the news is coming through thick and fast. Philippe Coutinho has agreed to terminate his contract with Aston Villa. This one is set to do. This is going to release our wages. This is going to release a lot of problems, and this is going to be a massive relief for both player and club. Goodbye, Coutinho. And there we go. And that would be nice, really, wouldn't it? Look on this as well. Louis Barry set to join Hull for 3.5. So Kesler Hayden and Louis Barry got a 7 million in the bag. Aston Villa have a substantial sell-on clause as well from Jacob Tanswell. So, yeah, I think we're going to be all right with the Chelsea thing, General Russ. Yeah, I do, because we went cheaper on that. But yeah, listen, Louis Barry, Kesler Hayden, 7 mil basically between them. Thanks for coming. We'll take that. And if we have a buyback clause as well, that will be even better. So Coutinho is going 3.5 mil, and we're going to be happy with that. We're going to be happy with that. So pure profit as well. Remember, that's pure profit. Right, one more story. One more story to give you. Where is it? But yeah, Rich and Masters. People are going to be. Oh, this is the last bit of this whole where we started the journey on. Aston Villa have committed to bringing down their player cost by almost 20% over this summer and next. So where am I going to leave us on that? I think that starts our next sort of couple of conversations in the next week or so. If we're going to be looking to improve our wage bill and substantially bring it down by 20%, it means we need to sell. As simple as that. We need to sell. I mean, to sell quickly. And with that in mind, big wages are going to have to be knocked off the books. And I think we all know that Luca Dean is on the chopping block. 120k of Luca Dean, I think, is on the chopping block. Jacob Ramsey now feels very irrelevant because his wages are like 60, 70k. But we've got rid of Coutinho. We still got Moreno, Buendia, the donkey to all get rid of. But 2 more big wages. And that means then, I think we are going to have to recruit younger players on cheaper salaries. That's my gut feeling. This window, I think we're not going for the big guns of your Sense's and Rashford names. We're not going for household European names who are already on 350k a week. And we're like, please come to us, take a little bit of wage bill. No. What we're going for now is these younger players would need to be putting people on 100k below. I think 120 is the max we should be really going for, but we need to be cutting, we need to be trimming, we need to be bringing in young talent across Europe who will earn the right of their wages. That's how I personally see it. Young talent in Europe is ready to shine, like your Morgan Rogerses, who we can put on 60k a week, 70k a week, and flourish. That's how I see our transfer window. So I'm looking forward to seeing how good the recruitment's going to be and what we can do on wages. But you know what? I'm going to say this again. Why don't we start doing the Chelsea situation? Why don't we start doing 7-8 year contracts? And stream the wages out somehow and say there's an increase in your wage each year you stay. I don't know. We've got to find more loopholes, in my opinion. And yeah, unfortunately, the Jackson links are not going away. That guy's done. João Pedro's already been flown out to the Club World Cup. They've got the lap, they've got João Pedro, and they're like, goodbye, Jackson. Yeah, you know the rest. So there we go. But yeah, it is about patience again. But you know what I'm going to be like, Kevin. I'll be like, it's the 3rd of July and we've not signed anyone. What are we doing? But I will be honest. Just to well, no. Oh yeah, I'll be real. I still stand by this. We're being left behind by City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. That's what I'm saying. They're moving fast. It's pissing me off. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, all moving fast. But we got to trust the process, trust the gurus, trust the Monchis, trust the Unais, and trust that our squad is going to build and build and build. People, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed this one tonight. I've stopped sweating from the start, so thank you so much for everyone who's locked in. The comments have been unreal. All I can say is we haven't hit 50 likes on the stream, and we need to run that up before we end. So if you haven't already, smash the like button. Run it up. Do the good work of that for me. I would really appreciate that, people. I really would. So yeah, hope you're all good. Hope you're all well. We need to do our bit of redirecting. Let's go to. Do you know what? Let's help out this channel. We like to scratch other channels' backs. Why don't we do this for True Gooner? Okay, he's a young Arsenal fan. I think he's like 16, 17. Big up to the younger content creators getting out there. So I'm going to redirect you to a Arsenal fan channel. It's called True Gooner. Can you just put AVFTS Raid in there? And yeah, I'm not saying speed again. Don't you worry. AVFTS Raid to True Gooner. He's a young fan. I don't know how many people he's got in, but yeah, we'll give him a little boost with us and put AVFTS raid in that one. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I can't find anyone else. I wish more Villa fans were live. I would send you straight there, but there isn't. So just put AVFTS raid and then jump out of there. Do you know what I mean? He's a young lad, and fair play to him. I always say that when you look at other content creators getting out there, doing their thing, it's good to help him out. Do you know what I mean? It's good to help him out. He's got 32 watching, so let's do that. In fact, I thought Rich was live for a second when we do that. So yeah, put AVFTS raid in that. I'm out of here. Go do the redirect. People, much love. Ta-da.